Hello kiddos, this is lesson 4.3, applying multiplication and division of rational numbers. This is page 105 to 108. Okay, so we got a word problem here. Some friends went out to dinner. The bill was $14.50. Charles paid for 3/5 of the entire bill. So how much did Charles pay? So some things that we need to consider. The bill was $14.50. And Charles, being the nice friend that he is going to pay 3/5 of the entire bill. So we have a little strategy that we're going to use for word problems like this. We call it UPS check. And the U stands for understand. Oh, there we go. Understand. The P stands for plan. S stands for solve, and the check means check for reasonableness. So we're going to check for reasonable answer. That means does our answer make sense? Okay. So first thing is to understand. Well, here's what I understand. I know that the bill cost $14.50. I got $14.50. Okay. I also know that Charles is going to pay 3/5 of the $4.50. So 3/5 of $14.50. So I have to figure out what 3/5 of $14.50 is. So that is my U. I'm understanding. Okay. My P, I'm going to plan this out. I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to set the problem like this. I'm going to say $14.50, and I'm going to multiply it by 3/5. I want to know what 3/5 of $14.50 is. Now here's the deal. I've got a decimal here, and I'm multiplying by a fraction. And so I'm going to have to make an adjustment. I'm either going to have to convert the $14.50 to a fraction, or the 3/5. I'm going to convert that to a decimal. And then I'm going to multiply. So I guess my plan of action here, and the best thing that I think I could do, I'm going to convert 3/5 to a fraction. So my plan is I'm going to convert 3/5 to a decimal and then solve. Alright, so convert. Okay, so top dog goes in the house. That's how we do our conversion. So we put 3 in the house. We're going to put 5 outside. So we're going to convert 3/5 to a decimal. So 5 will not go into 3. So that's 0. Okay, now we use our knowledge. We say, okay, we're going to add decimals, and then we're going to add zeros. Okay, now 5, how many times will it go into 30? Well, it goes 6 times. 6 times 5 is 30. I've got no remainder, so there's my answer. This 3/5 is equal to 6/10. So now I just change it to a multiplication problem. I say, okay, I've got 14.50. We'll multiply it by 6/10. So if you remember the rule, I multiply the numbers as if there's no decimal, and then I take care of the decimal at the end. So 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 5 is 30. Carry the 3. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 3 is 7. 27. And then 6 times 1 is 6, plus the 2 is 8. Alright, now I've got 3 decimal places. I've got 2 here, 1 here, for a total of 3. So I start here and I go 1, 2, and a 3. And I'm going to move my decimal place to right here. So that means, let's scroll down just a bit, that I've got $8 70 cents. Oh, by the way, this white is a solve. I'm solving. So UPS. So I solved it. Okay, it's 870. I'm going to box my answer because that's what I want to be graded. And I'm going to go back and check my answer for reasonableness. So if I have $14.50 and if I divide that into 5 equal parts, so if I have, I'm going to check it right over here. Let's do this. Here's my check. Okay. $14.50 is really close to $15. So I'm just going to round it to 15. Okay. And I know that 3/5 means that if I divide this into 5 equal pieces, this $15, and then I have 3 of those pieces, that will give me 3/5. So I take $15 and I'm going to $15. I'm going to divide it by 3. And that equals 5. Sorry, I'm going to divide it by pickle shoes. I'm going to divide it by 5. That gives me 3. So each piece is about 3, and because it's that's what equals 1/5. So I want to know what 3/5. This is just an estimation to check my answer. 3/5 is 3 of those pieces. So 3/5 would equal. Okay, it's a roughly equal sign. Okay. 3/5 roughly equals 3 times 3 is 9. So about $9 would be my estimation. And my exact answer is 870. So I check my answer, it's good. So to review the steps for multiplying or dividing with a decimal and a fraction, let's scroll up and see. So steps to multiply and divide rational numbers. Step 1, convert all numbers to decimals, or you can convert all numbers to fractions if you think that seems easier, but my suggestion is to convert all numbers to decimals first. So if you have a problem that it looks like this, convert all the numbers to decimals. So I've got a decimal right here, so I need to convert this to a decimal. Or conversely, if you wanted to, you could convert 1450 to a fraction, then do top times top and bottom times bottom. But that will be a little more difficult. The way you would do this is you would say, okay, I got 14 whole numbers, and I got 50 hundredths, like that. And then we could say, well, I've got, if I simplify it, that's 1/2. So I can do 14 and 1/2 times 3/5. Okay, but I would have to convert this to a mixed number, to an improper fraction, which would be 29/2 times 3/5. I do 29 times 7, which is 90, minus 3, which is 87, over 10. And then I would have to convert that back to a mixed number, which would be 8 and 7/10. Okay, that would give me the answer. That's one version of doing it. That's this way of doing it. Okay, the way we worked it out below is we converted it to a decimal. Okay, so that's step 1. And then step 2 is just to solve. You just solve the problem. So first you got to convert all to fraction or all to decimal, and then you just solve. That's it. All right, that's the end of the video. Apply this to the Google Doc and see what you can do. If you need extra help, check out the extra videos, and there's also extra help that can be posted on the lesson.